The Dallas Cowboys 2024 schedule is out, and I am weirded out by a very confusing decision that the NFL made. Let's get into it and other takeaways about the schedule. Here we go. What is up, everyone, and welcome into A to Z Sports Dallas Primetime. I am your host, Mauricio Rodriguez, streaming live every Sunday and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central. But in between, catching up with you guys with these quick-hitting videos a little bit later than usual, the upload tonight. And that's obviously because we had to react to the schedule. And before I did that, I had to put out several articles over on the atozsports.com/Dallas front. By the way, go check them out once you're done watching this video. But man, I'm going to get into several reactions here, but let me hit you with the first one, with the big one. I'm very confused by this decision by the NFL. The Cowboys play the Eagles in week 10. They play them at home. And then they play them in week 17. The NFC East, per the betting odds, is as likely to go to the Cowboys as it is to the Eagles. I'm talking about the same exact odds. In other words, it should be a tight race for the division. And even though that is the case, the NFL did not schedule Cowboys versus Eagles in primetime. None of the two. And I'm very confused by that because for a moment I kind of paused and I was like, when is the last time that happened? Because growing up watching the Cowboys, Eagles, it felt like it was an NFL rule to have them play on primetime. I straight up couldn't remember a year, and I went back on my mind, and then I checked with Pro Football Reference. 2003 was the last time the Cowboys and the Eagles were not scheduled to play in primetime. 2005, they played a little bit early on Monday night because it was on Christmas, but they did play in Monday evening. That's over 20 years of the Cowboys and Eagles going at it under the lights. And I am flabbergasted that they're not running it back in 2024 because it's not like the Cowboys don't have Dak Prescott anymore. It's not like the Eagles don't have Jalen Hurts anymore. These are still two contending teams within the NFC. Very weirded out by that. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with that. Are you surprised or not surprised at the Cowboys and Eagles not facing each other on primetime? I do think it's a mess up from the NFL. I don't get it. I don't get how the Cowboys play the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football and then they play them again on Thanksgiving, but they don't play the Eagles on a standalone slot. I just don't get it. I'm very, very surprised by that. How do you have a Week 16 Sunday Night Football game versus the Tampa Bay Bucks, but the Cowboys don't play the Eagles on Sunday Night Football? What is the logic behind this? Because you see, let's get into the primetime matchups now. 6 of them, plus Thanksgiving. Cowboys play the Giants on week 4. That's Thursday Night Football. Listen, I get it. Cowboys and Giants playing on primetime is also one of those things that you just assume is going to happen. Although, again, man, if you're going to have one Thursday Night Football within the NFC East, make it versus the Eagles, right? Anyways, the Cowboys play the Steelers at Pittsburgh. By the way, on the screen here, you've got the schedule. Yellow is home games. White is road games. So the Cowboys go on the road. They play the Steelers. I do get that one being on Sunday night. Old school rivalry. It happens every 4 or 2 years now with the new rule. But you got to make the most out of every Cowboys-Steelers game that you can get, especially on an international level. You know I'm a Mexico fan. You know I'm from Mexico. Cowboys and Steelers are 2 of the largest fan bases here. So I totally get that. And then you go Cowboys at San Francisco 49ers in week 8 at Sunday Night Football again. Totally understand that one, right? There's a lot of storylines to follow there. More specifically, the Cowboys being dominated by the 49ers over the last few years, and the Cowboys having a spot mid-season to go on the road, pull off the upset. It's going to be a measuring stick kind of game. You already know all of the storylines that are going to come up with that one. Again, I do understand that. Cowboys versus Texans, I mean, you don't get a chance to do this one every year, so I also get it, right? Especially with the Texans, the storyline right now. Now you can sell the story of the battle for Texas because the Texans are so damn good going into 2024, and the Cowboys are kind of stumbling a little bit. You know, the Cowboys this season, it's going to be all about we're still here. we're still here. We forget about the playoffs for a moment here, which is the real kind of thing that is going to matter for Dallas because we know what they can do in the regular season. But during September, October, November, December, it's all going to be about showing the NFL world that they're still here, even without Tyler Viadish, without Tyron Smith. How do the Cowboys show that they're still here? And to do so against a rising team with a rising quarterback like CJ Stroud, man, who had the best rookie season, by the way, by a QB since Dak Prescott in 2016. Hell yeah. And in my opinion, CJ Stroud is the best QB rookie that I've seen, honestly, since I've been watching football. Cowboys versus Bengals, Monday Night Football, another one that you just understand, right? Cowboys, Joe Burrow, Monday Night Football. By the way, 2 Monday nights for Dallas because the Texans game is also a Monday Night Football. And then they played the Bengals on Monday night as well. But it's not like a Saturday late season type thing where ESPN keeps its brand. No, it's two actual Monday nights that they're going to be playing in, which I thought was fun. And then Cowboys Bucks, big head scratcher for me. Like, man, I get that Baker Mayfield hype. I get that they kept Mike Evans for another year. I'm still very surprised at that one, especially within the Eagles context that I just talked about. But those are the primetime games. Again, very confused by the decision to leave out the Eagles. Week 13 versus the Giants, that is going to be Thanksgiving. Again, not really a surprise. 2020, we had that again. The Cowboys bit the Giants on that one, as you might remember. But overall, thoughts on the schedule, though. And on Thursday night on the live show, we're going to be going game by game and calling them. I'm going to predict the Cowboys record, and we're going to go week by week tomorrow night when we have a little bit more time to delve into the details. But for now, things that stick out to me, it's a tough start. It really is, right? Browns and Ravens in the first 3 weeks. At least you've got an easy stop there versus the Saints. But even that, man, not exactly like one of the worst teams in the NFL. So tough start for Dallas. First 3 weeks are going to be key. I do believe there's a sneaky 0-4, 0-5 stretch there that you could be looking at. And I'm obviously talking about worst case scenario. But to me, week 6 and week 5 is not easy either because you're going on the road against Pittsburgh. You're going to be on upset alert. That's what Mike Tomlin does with his teams. And man, the stats don't lie. It's every freaking year. So I don't care about Justin Fields, Russell Wilson thing. Man, even if it's Russell Wilson out there quarterbacking for the Steelers, the Steelers are going to bring it, especially on a primetime slot. Mike Tomlin is a master of being an underdog. So I'm kind of worried about that one a little bit, but I'm going to leave it out for now. So after the Steelers game, the Cowboys host the Detroit Lions, who are only getting better, by the way. And then you have a bye week, so that's kind of like a bone thrown their way right there. You get the San Francisco 49ers game on the road after that. So it's cool having the Niners after a bye, but still, you're fresh off of games versus the Ravens and then Giants, Steelers, and Lions. It's not exactly the easiest of stretches. So after the bye, you get 49ers. And just to back up a little bit, you could lose against the Lions. Like, there's nothing wrong with admitting that right now. I'm not predicting the game as of right now. We'll do that tomorrow, but it's a game that you could see and you could lose. 49ers the same. I want to say this. I kind of feel like the Falcons there in week 9, sandwiched in between the 49ers, the Eagles, and Texans. It's kind of like a little bit of a sneaky trap game because that might seem like an oasis over there in the middle of a killer row of opponents. But man, the Falcons with Kirk Cousins, and not only that, but they've got a very solid run-blocking offensive line that is paving the way for Bijan Robinson. And we know what the Cowboys struggle with. It's going to be key that the Cowboys really figure that part of it out because otherwise you're looking at Lions who run the ball pretty well, Niners who do that as well, obviously, then the Falcons, and then you get the Eagles, and then you get CJ Stroud coming to town. Man, that to me is a tough stretch. From week 6 to week 11, I could see the Cowboys going on a losing streak there. Now, if they prove otherwise and they actually go and they escape from week 6 to week 11, and that's 5 games. If they get out of there with 3 wins, 4 wins, I'm calling that a huge W. But I could also see them having a losing record within that stretch. And it's going to make for a lot of drama somewhere in the middle of the season. And again, we need to dive deeper into all of this. Of course, we'll do so tomorrow night when we have our live show predicting game by game. Those are my initial impressions of the schedule. Kind of love the fact that you get Commanders, Giants, Bengals, Panthers, and Bucks late in the year. It feels like the Cowboys will have like that option, not option, but like that possibility of going on a significant winning streak towards the playoffs, right? Because the Bengals are a tough opponent. I'm not saying no, but like Commanders, Giants, Bengals, Panthers, Bucks, the one worry there, it's got to be the Bengals. So even if the Cowboys are down in the division, right, leading up to that week 17 game, they can build up that record. Like they can beef up that record late in the year and enter the playoffs with certain momentum going their way and the possibility to improve their seeding and all that. So, overall, tough schedule. We knew that before the order came out. But now that we see it on the screen, now that we see it week by week, you understand where the challenges are going to be. Week 6 to week 11, to me, is the key to this season. It's going to be intense. But then you get that late season opportunity to beef up your record and get a better seeding in the postseason. Let me know what you think. Let me know what stuck out for you in the comments down below. And I'll see you tomorrow night. We'll be live predicting each and every one of the Cowboys games. Thanks so much. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.